Here we go. All right, so I am recording this. And it is on page 9, not page 61. This is task number 4, hours spent studying. Question. If someone asked you from this school how many hours you would study, would you answer them truthfully, or would you exaggerate it and say it was a little bit more, or would you like dumb it down and say it was a little bit less? How would you answer? Truthfully? Good. CJ? Truthfully? I mean, what's to lose, right? I mean, it's not a big deal. Okay. So it says for task number 4, suppose you want to estimate the average number of hours that students in our school spend studying each week. Which of the following is the best method of sampling? Which would be the best method of sampling? Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Talk with someone next to you if you'd like. Read through those examples and see which one you think would be the best, and then maybe do a little phrase why you think some of the other ones would not be a good example of how to sample these people. Okay? So go ahead, read these through. Let's figure out which one you think is the best method of sampling to figure out the number of hours that we study. Okay, let's be working on this. Do you have your workbook? Okay. Whew. And let's see who's here or not here. Page 9, I believe. Yeah, that's old. Okay. No, Shemaiah. Sean, you can go. I'm pretty sure it's 2 after. Huh? Pick one, and then which one do you think is the best method of sampling? And maybe jot down a phrase why the other ones would not be good. No, Miss Kyla, huh? Oh, several on a field trip. Circle which one you think would be best. And jot down a few things, a phrase or two, why you think the others would not be good. Doesn't have to be a whole sentence. Maybe just jot it down right where they are even. Where's your friend? I saw him this morning. don't think he's marked on it, but who knows? Okay. All right, so which of these would you say is the best method of sampling to figure out the average number of hours that students here at Pike spend studying? Javion, what do you think? Which one did you mark? Well, guess what? You need to take some time. Let's look at it now. Come on. Javion, it's not that hard. Take a look. Which one would you pick as the best method of sampling? Hello? Hey, pick one. Take a look at them. D? All right. Anonymously survey each student in the class. Require all students to respond. Anybody, who else said D? Anybody else say D? Oh. Wait, is that a hand raised up? No. So where are my D's again? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Did you think something else? Something different? Janetta? E. Stop people at random walking in the halls between classes and ask how much time they spend studying. How many said E? Raise your hand if you said E. No one else said E. Wow. Okay. Anybody else choose A, B, or C? Yeah. You switch to D. Okay. Choose a sample of friends that resembles the general population. What's the general population here at our school, would you say? Yeah. Well, if you have to choose friends that would represent the whole population of Pike, what would you pick? How many girls? How many guys? I don't even know. Do you guys know how many guys and girls are in your class even? Is it more guys to girls? Does anybody know? You think it's more girls? Okay. Then you've got black, you've got Hispanics, you've got white. You know, how many of each of those would you pick? That gets to be a little tricky. Okay. Anybody else choose A, B, or C at all? Well, the correct one is chosen. Let's go back through and figure out why the others might not be good picks. Huh? I didn't say yet. So let's take a look at A. Go to the library, ask all the students there how much they study. Why didn't you pick that one? Why didn't you pick that one? Yeah.
Because all the students in the library might be there to study.
Yeah, those are all going to be people that study. That's not very representative, right? Okay, so if you go to the library, they're probably there to study already. So it's going to be very one-sided. All right. Letter B, email all students asking them how much they study and use all the data you get. Use all the data you get. Caitlin, why is that not a good method of sampling? Okay, people might not respond, or what can we say about the people that would respond? They would be considered and called what? What kind of sampling might this be? You email all the students in the school asking how much they study, you use the data that you get back. Is everybody going to answer the email? No. Who does answer the email? People who study or people that own a computer? That's good. That's a bias. Okay. Hopefully most of us have computers now. If it's the data that you get, wouldn't that be volunteer sampling? Because they have to respond. So this is volunteer sampling, which is not the best method of sampling because only those that respond are the ones that you're going to get. They're going to be volunteers. And those volunteers are usually, you might want to write this in, they are usually on opposite sides of whatever it is you're talking about. Opposite sides of, what am I trying to say? The concept, the concept isn't the best word. But you're either going to have people say, oh yeah, I study all the time, and I'm going to let them know about it. Or you're going to have somebody respond that's like, I never study, I'm proud of it, right? You're going to have the extremes. Okay. Letter C, choose a sample of friends that resemble the general population of students at our school. Do you know the general population very well of the entire school? Probably not. Okay. And you are going to bring probably your own biases. Whether you are trying to avoid it or not, okay, you're probably going to have more people that look like you, even though you're trying to be representative, okay? Anonymously survey each student in our class. So what if we're talking about this class? Is this class very representative of the entire school? Why not? What are all of you? What grade level? You're all seniors. So we wouldn't have any freshmen, we wouldn't have any sophomores, no juniors. So really, letter D is not good. It is not representative of the entire school. So that leads us to letter E, which is going to be the best method. Now, is it a great method? No. It's far from being a great method, but of all the ones that we have here, it is probably the best method to try to talk to people at random, walking in the halls in between classes, ask how much time they spend studying. Okay? So E is probably going to be your best choice. D sounded really good until we figured out, oh, we're all seniors. Any questions about that? All right, let's go to task number 5. From a class containing 12 girls and 10 boys, 3 students are to be selected to serve on a school advisory panel. Here are 4 different methods of making your selection. Number 1, select the first 3 names on the class roll. Select the first 3 names. Javion, come on, put that away. I'm sorry, trying to make you learn. Number 2, select the first 3 students who volunteer. Number 3, place the names of the 22 students in a hat, mix them thoroughly, and select 3 names from the mix. Or number 4, select the first 3 students who show up for class tomorrow. So of those 4 methods, which is the best sampling method among these 4? If you want the school panel to represent a fair and representative view of the opinions of your class. Then explain the weaknesses of the 3 you did not select. So take a minute, literally less than a minute. Which one would you select here? Circle the one you would select. Which one would you select? Maybe write down a weakness of the other 3. Sean, select one. Circle it. This class will go by so much quicker if you actually participate. I promise. All right. So, what method did you make? Amani, what did you pick? 3. Anybody else pick 3? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. 8. Pick 3. Anybody pick a different one? Who picked a different one? Janetta. 2. How many picked 2? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Any takers for 1? Any takers for 4? Okay. So why would 1 not be a good representative view of sampling? Why is that not a good one? Why did you not select number 1? Noelia, you weren't even here for this yesterday, were you? Well, what do you think? Selecting the first 3 names on the class roll. They don't want to be picked up, you think? Okay. They might not want to be picked up. That's true. What if they're all in the same family? Maybe they're triplets. Wouldn't they all have the very similar types of views then? Okay. What kind of sampling would we call this? First 3 names on the class roll. What kind of sampling would that be? Check back in your notes. What kind of sampling is that? Not the same view, but we said they could if they were from the same family. But when you select the first 3 names on the class roll, what kind of sampling? Convenience. Yeah, that's very convenient. But I don't know that it's going to be very diverse or representative of your population. Okay, that's easy. It's economical. It's quick. Not representative. How about number 4, selecting the first 3 students who show up for class tomorrow? What might that type of sampling be? Morgan, come on, let's put that away.
Systematic?
Systematic or stratified? Is there a systematic? I don't think it's systematic. That's like every, doing it in chunks. Like I'm going to pick the 5th, 10th, 15th. What kind of sampling? What do you think, Isaiah? Are we sure they're volunteering? They show up for class. I don't think they're volunteering. Yeah? I don't think it's stratified. What do you think? No? Well, it could be cluster. I'll give you cluster because maybe it is people who like to come to class early, right? They share that characteristic. There's something else I think it could be. All finished? Okay. What other one might it be? I don't think it's simple random. I would say that's also convenient. They come in the class, the teacher's like, hey, You three, I'm putting you on the leadership advisory panel just because you are here first. And I get it done. I don't have to worry about it. So I would say that could be a cluster because they all like to be early. Could be also convenient. All right. Now let's look at the two that we have the most votes for. Select the first 3 students who volunteer. Now that one had less than the other one. If they volunteer, what kind of sampling is that? Volunteer sampling. So that's not great. And again, if they volunteer, they're going to be probably one of the extremes. Okay? They either want to be on the advisory board because they want to be helpful and they want to make changes, or they're going to be like, oh, this stinks. I'm going to be in charge and we're going to have ice cream every day. We're going to have reset, something like that. So you're talking about the extremes. What about placing the names of 22 students in a hat, mixing them thoroughly, and selecting 3 names from the mix? Yeah, that's the best one. Did you ever hear that the one that has the longest description is often the correct one? Because they're being very precise in what they're looking for. But if you look back to it in simple random sampling, putting and drawing names or something from a hat, that's pretty simple random sampling, right? Okay. Any questions about task 4 or task 5 for today? All right, so we are done for the day. Again, make sure you get that survey done and completed. Also, you need to be working on this first homework assignment. Okay? That's all I've got.